Welcome to another episode of That's Absurd. Please elaborate, a show where we talk about science and try and make each other laugh as we explore weird, wonderful, goofy, awkward questions from you, our listeners. I am one of your two research presenter talkers. I am Julian Huguet.
And I am one of the other RPTs, Trace Dominguez.
It's an official
I had to do that acronym in my head.
It sounds better in the original German. That's like...
the original German. I don't even know what that means.
Somebody does. Somebody listening absolutely does. But anyway, so every now and then there's like a kind of janky acronym, and then you're like, oh, it's from another language. Okay, that makes more sense. So assume that's why research presenter talker is weird, and not because we're bad at intros historically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the reason why. Like I said, this is a show where we take questions from listeners and we do research and then we present it to each other. And Trace, you have the first question this week. Who asked it and what did they ask?
I sure do. This question comes from Ben in Canada, who says this.
Hi, my name is Ben, and I'm sending my question all the way from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My question is, why does the surface area theory work? The surface area theory, as put forward by a friend of mine, states that the enjoyment of a particular food item increases with the surface area of the foodstuff. For example, a potato is okay. French fries are awesome. Taking a bite of a brick of cheese, underwhelming. Eating shredded cheese, best thing since sliced bread. How does the surface area change the flavor or experience of the food item? Oh, I almost forgot. Does this solve anything?
Nice job, Ben. Good work.
Solid. Also, yeah, huh?
Yeah, huh?
It does, huh?
Right? Yeah.
I'm thinking,
it kind of does.
Are there any foods I can think of that, like, the more area I'm exposed to, the less I like it?
Well, I mean, that's the idea. The more, is
there anything that breaks this rule? You know?
So we'll get into that in a second.
Okay.
So first, Ben, in honor of Canadian Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to all of our Canadian listeners. This episode is going to air about Canadian Thanksgiving. I love these personal hypotheses. Please send them in to us so that we can solve them. I like to think of this as the official follow-up to our Mega M&Ms episode.
Yes!
Episode 36, where we talk about mini M&Ms, Raina's question. Mini M&Ms taste better than Mega M&Ms. This surface area, I'm going to call it hypothesis. The surface area hypothesis covers that because mini M&Ms have more surface area than a Mega M&M, just generally speaking, by mass. So, really great. Could we apply this to other interdisciplinary foods? Says Ben. As a recap, for those who maybe haven't listened to episode 36, go back and listen to it. It's about mini M&Ms.
Man, that was way back, huh?
That was a long time ago. And I did find also a informal nerd survey that found that minis taste better, are sweeter, and more satisfying on social media, which I thought was pretty cool. I actually don't like mini M&Ms. We didn't talk about this in the old episode, but I feel like now that it's coming up again, I should probably mention it. I'm not a fan.
You don't like mini M&Ms. You don't like brie.
I don't actually like M&Ms.
I feel like I don't even know you.
You don't love my brain.
I feel like I have I don't. Who are you?
Yeah, sorry. I just don't like them that much. I know. And I don't like brie.
What do you like instead? Like a handful of sawdust? Like what's your...
Wow.
I don't understand your taste buds. They're so foreign to me.
Well, maybe we'll learn more about that in this episode.
Good foreshadowing.
So I think, Julian, you're right. We need to take the surface area hypothesis and we need to poke some holes in it. It's a direct, more surface area equals more enjoyment. Direct relationship. So under the surface area hypothesis, mashed avocado is better than sliced avocado.
Okay, well, guacamole.
True or false?
So.
Yeah, guacamole is way better.
It's great.
I'm allergic, but I still eat it.
Sorry, that reminds me. Katie's dad recently was like, yeah, I think I'm allergic to shellfish. And we were like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, I had like 30 shrimps or something. And then I noticed the reaction. No. It's like, maybe you just had 30 shrimp. Maybe that's part of it.
Maybe like my tummy hurt after I had 30 shrimp. Well, maybe I don't have 30 shrimp.
30 shrimp is the thing.
Ted, don't have 30 shrimp, Ted. Don't do it.
Anyway, so yeah, maybe you're just having a lot of guacamole and you're not actually allergic.
No, I'll have like 2 bites. And I'm just
okay. That makes more sense.
I'm like, this is so
I'm
good.
not an allergist, but that seems more appropriate with how like you should respond when you're allergic to something than having 30 and being like, oh, now I feel a little bad.
I just smash the EpiPen into my thigh and go to
right
Chipotle.
on dipping.
That's what I do.
Keep right
That's
on
why I'm like, I know it costs extra. Spow! EpiPen.
Yeah, I have to burn an EpiPen every time I get it. That costs a lot more for me.
Costs a lot more than the $3 you're charging me, or whatever it is.
Sorry, for those of you listening who might have universal health care, like our question asker, we have to pay for the EpiPens here.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And the guacamole. It's really great here in America. Shredded cheese is better than block cheese. Ben clocked that one right out of the gate.
Easy one.
Totally
Slam
agree.
dunk.
Yes, absolutely perfect. No notes. Steak fries are worse than skinny fries. Steak fries, you just gave me trash. Skinny fries, shoestring fries, even a good crispy hash brown. Little teeny skinny, oh, yeah, better. Yeah.
Okay, potato chips, the ultimate expression, right? Because it's like maximum surface area.
See, so this is where I had this. I'm glad you bring this up. This is where I had a problem with the surface area hypothesis as presented by our initial researcher, Ben, because he used potato and compared potato to French fry. I think potato and French fry cannot be compared in that potato is prepared differently than French fry. Yes, French fry has more surface area than potato. However, it's also fried and covered in salt. The potato, not. So here's what I thought. I took inspiration from my college cafeteria, which I swear to you, this is exactly what happened in my college cafeteria. Monday was baked potato. Tuesday was twice baked potato. Wednesday was scalloped potato. Thursday,
I want to pause. The going from baked potato day 1 to twice baked potato day 2 is very suspicious.
It is so suspicious. And it took, I noticed this in our cafeteria that by Wednesday we were having scalloped potato. And I was like, okay. And then on Thursday we would have cheesy mashed potatoes. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's all the same potato.
They're just increasing the surface area throughout the week.
Yeah, they just started with an insane amount of baked potatoes on Monday, and they just projected to last that through the whole week.
And they're like, we'll slice some of them and put cheese on it. We'll mash some of them and serve them. Yeah, yep. And none of those turned into French fries. And then, they never did it, but Friday should have been shepherd's pie. Come on, you guys. Come on, jeez. Steak Jameson, something, Good. Anyway, all this works because the potato is cooked the same way, essentially, throughout. I mean, you could argue scalloped potatoes are slightly different than, baked potato. But either way, it's a little bit of a joke. But my point is, they're all similar. And yes, I think most people would agree, a cheesy mashed potato is better than scalloped potato, but scalloped potato is still good. And both are better than a baked potato, even with all of the stuff on it. Right?
Even bacon bits?
I mean, you can put bacon bits on.
Bacon bits are so
sure.
good.
I mean,
little bacon bits and some sour cream on a baked
Great.
potato. Oh, yeah, I know what I'm doing for lunch after this. Okay.
Little chives on there, too. Some chives and some sour cream. Anyway, a lot of that is already in mashed potato, too. You're going to make good mashed potatoes. You're going to put some cheese in there. You're going to put some sour cream in there. You're going to put some butter in there. You're going to put salt in there. I mean, it's basically the same thing. That's my point. So, all of this makes sense. Supporting evidence for the surface area hypothesis. We got to poke holes in the surface area hypothesis, too, because we're being good scientists right now. Being good scientists.
Yeah.
So did you think of anything that pokes a hole in the surface area hypothesis?
Not a single thing.
Dang it, Julian!
I mean, like, we could do even pizza, right? Like, you got Chicago pizza. People like it less. Even though, as we've talked about, it's kind of like from a different origin dish in the first place.
That's another episode we did early on.
Pizza's kind of a misnomer. But anyway,
that's only pizza because we don't have it. We didn't want to use the other word for it, but it's pizza cake.
Less volume, same surface area. People tend to like it more, although I'm a big deep dish fan.
I found a hole that I'm going to poke in it. Ready?
All right.
Surface area theory. Breadcrumbs are the tastiest form of bread.
Oh.
Do you agree?
Kind of like eating sawdust, like we talked about.
Huge surface area.
That's just a absolute saliva
really
sink
unsatisfying to eat.
That is.
How about this? Powdered chocolate is the tastiest form of chocolate.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're definitely hitting some diminishing returns here.
Okay, so what if you could only have one kind of chocolate forever? Which one would you pick? Because I might pick powdered chocolate because I could make hot chocolate forever, and I really like hot chocolate.
I mean, or you could get like a bar of chocolate and like, could you melt it? I don't know. People use
I feel like you'd be cheating then.
People use like syrup, which I always thought was weird when you just drizzle syrup in a mug and then heat it up and some milk,
I don't
and
like
that's
that.
hot cocoa.
I mean, it works.
Yeah.
It works. If that's what you got, that's what you got. But honestly, go get a chocolate bar and shave it. You're going to have so much better hot chocolate. Oh, it's so good. Okay, but you get my point. Powdered chocolate is not better than
but chocolate
chocolate
shavings are so...
Chocolate shavings are good. I'm glad you
shavings.
mentioned that. Yes. Another hole in the surface area theory. A perfectly prepared Wagyu steak is improved by grinding it into little pieces.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Clearly, because the surface area of the Wagyu steak is increased. See, this is ironic because it's not true.
Right.
What's your favorite food, Julian?
My favorite food? Probably like a chicken teriyaki bowl.
Excellent. Let's vaporize
Okay.
it. Huge surface area.
And so convenient.
So much.
You don't need to eat it out of a bowl with your little chopsticks. You can just breathe it out of a bag.
Just breathe it in. Just breathe it in. If that's not enough surface area for you, atomize it. Turn it into the carbon, hydrogen, and other trace elements available.
pieces.
And the amazing amount of surface area.
Okay, so something else is happening, right?
The hypothesis seems like it does hold for a while. We can't obviously do an experiment to test it here on a podcast because we're just a couple of idiots. But it does seem that there are 2 points to consider. One, we need to limit foods that have similar cooking or preparation types. So fries are better than potatoes because they are fried. Even my cafeteria peeps at Western Michigan University know this. Go Broncos. Mashed potatoes are roughly equivalent to baked potatoes, so that's fine. Both real good. Point two, there appears to be an upper limit, which Julian intuited incredibly well by saying, oh, chocolate shavings, chocolate powder, really good. Because we don't want things to be too small, atomized, LOL, or
That's an
vaporized.
extreme condition.
Because at some point you can't taste it, and you want things that trigger the flavors on your tongue. Say them with me now. All the different flavors that you can have on your tongue are sweet.
I don't know what order. There's 5 of them. They could go in any order.
Yeah, let's
That's
just
gonna
go
be
anyway.
chaotic
We'll
if
go
we just
full-
start saying them in any order.
Full improv game. Ready? Sweet, salty, sour, bitter,
and umami. The only one left is umami.
Starch, and oligustus.
That's 7? I thought it was 5. You can't.
No, there's more.
Okay.
There's 6 tastes. Yeah, sweet, salty, sour, bitter, umami, starch, for sure. And then also oligustus,
Was he a Roman emperor?
which was new to me.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Yep. So I read a lot of food science papers for this, and starch I have definitely heard of. I've made jokes about it before. If there is a taste bud for starch, I have it, for sure. Oligustus is new. That is the taste of fat. Oleo is the Latin root word for oily or fatty, and gustus refers to taste, not to be confused with the texture of fat. So when I say something is fatty, what do you picture? What words come to
Like
your
the
mind?
marbling in a steak.
Yeah, but I mean when you're eating it, what kind of textural elements?
Greasy, slidey.
Greasy.
Yeah.
But some people would describe smooth or creamy comes from fat as well. But the flavor of fat, like eating the fat, is somewhat unpleasant, bitter, sour flavor. We don't actually have a word for it. I guess oligustus is the word for it. But they've come out and found that people have a taste bud for this. We are able to taste that specifically.
Cool.
So a study in physiology and behavior had 18 trained adults put silica dioxide and polystyrene spheres in their mouth. That sounds bad, but
aren't those
silica dioxide is used in food. It's a food agent. It's an anti-caking agent. And then, polystyrene spheres are styrofoam, so used in food packaging. The spheres varied in size from 2 to 230 microns. So 2 is like bacteria
Very
sized.
small, yeah.
230 is like a quarter of a millimeter, like 2 sheets of paper thick. And they found that these people had been trained to feel it in their mouth and then guess how big they think the thing is. And they rated their particles by size, and they overestimated how big the larger particles were. And at some point, they couldn't tell the difference between them. And that was about 25 micrometers or microns or whatever. So 25 microns appears to be the smallest that our palate can detect, according to this paper. Pretty neat.
Yeah. Did they say that the styrofoam was getting tastier as it got smaller? Or?
They did actually say the sensation of smoothness decreased as particles got bigger, increased as it got smaller. So more surface area, in this case, does top out at some point, which is one of my critiques of the surface area hypothesis, but a good critique. And people found that they could feel things were gritty once the particles got to 10 micrometers, which are below what we're supposed to be able to tell, but you could kind of get like a feeling of grittiness, assuming, of course, that it wasn't mixed with something that was viscous. If it had mixed with something a little viscous, then it felt a lot smoother, even though it was actually quite sharp, which is really interesting. Such a cool study. It was only 18 people, so, but it's hard to, because the mouth is so unique and so different, and it's hard to study it while people are alive. And chewing. Have you ever had Belgian chocolate? Do you like chocolate? Do you like sweets?
Oh yeah,
I can't remember.
Love chocolate.
Okay, great. So I went backpacking after college, and I was in Belgium. Basically, for a week, I ate waffles, I drank beer, I ate French fries with mayonnaise, and I ate chocolate.
Oh,
and that's pretty
heaven.
much it. Well, I did. It was the dream. It was awesome. Oh, and profriches, which are like tiny pancakes. So good. Great chocolate. Went on a chocolate tour. Belgian chocolate is like famously good. And chocolate is cocoa mass, which is fermented roasted cocoa beans, cocoa butter, fat from the beans, and sugar. Sometimes milk fat if they need it, or other oils. Chocolate is a great test of the upper limit of the surface area hypothesis because of the powdered chocolate thing. And again, you intuited amazingly that shavings are better because they are larger, rather than powder, which would be very unpalatable because it's not very good unless you mix it with a viscous thing like milk and make hot chocolate, because it's amazing. So one study looking at oral sensations related to chocolate in Scientific Reports from 2019, quote, suggests that naive chocolate consumers, i.e. non-experts, are able to perceive differences in chocolate particle size that differ by only 5 micrometers.
But
that's so small. That's like a couple bacterias.
But the pro chocolate eaters can go even like more granular. Is that what they're saying? I'm offended by the naive chocolate, just the phrasing.
Yeah. It was a good phrasing,
naive
right?
chocolate eaters. These chocolate eating dumbasses. Like
these idiots.
Absolute
these chocolate eating
fools.
Idiots. Click on this link that I'm sending you. So ground cocoa mass is actually quite sharp edged. So when you ferment the cocoa bean, then you have to grind it. And you grind it into basically tiny powder. So I sent you a picture. Can you describe it for the audience?
This is definitely a scanning electron microscope of images of cocoa mass, cocoa powder with 11% fat, and cocoa powder with less than 1% fat. That's what the images are labeled with. And you can see there's some scale. They're all the way down to 1 micron. And the cocoa mass looks kind of lumpy, and the 11% fat cocoa powder looks a little sharper, and then the cocoa powder with less than 1% fat looks really jagged by comparison.
Yeah, right? It's super sharp. So what happens with Belgian chocolate, the reason they say that it's so good, and I'm just going by what food scientists talk about, is when they grind the chocolate beans, the mass, into the cocoa powder, the cocoa particles are ground to about 18 to 20 micrometers. Very, very small. Very small. Most other chocolate is between 20 and 40. So Cadbury chocolate, also considered quite good, owned by Kraft Foods, they had a paper that they released that said that they grind it to about 30 microns, which is 30 is pretty common in American chocolate as well. Hershey's also probably does 30, although theirs is not public. Honestly, they probably do 100. Who cares? Hershey's terrible.
I was going to say, but why is it so
terrible
bad?
Chocolate. Yeah, it tastes bad actually because it's more acidic.
Yeah.
American chocolate, for some reason, has more acid in it than it does than fat. And a Cadbury has more fat in it. So that's why it tastes so much smoother, which makes sense with what we've been talking about, where there's you add a little more fat, you have this viscous material around the cocoa, and it tastes smoother. Whereas grainier chocolate has a less viscous substance in between, anyway. So the upper limit is subjective. We know atomized is too far, but I also want to point out that in the surface area hypothesis, we're basically talking about how food is prepped, not just like the food itself, right? Like a strawberry is sliced or chopped or smushed or, mashed or whatever to put into a dessert. And I like to cook. I like to practice my knife skills. And so I look up the best way to like break down an onion or whatever. And chefs cut things in uniform ways, in very specific ways, for uniform cook times, for mouthfeel, and for bite size. And chefs and food prep experts know that sometimes you want a julienne cut or a bâtonnet, which is like a little strip. Sometimes you want to dice it or brunoise it or mince it. And like a dice, I just realized now actually looks like dice. Like you're rolling, like a dice, like a die. That you roll.
Man.
It's like,
this is one of those,
what?
I'm ashamed that I also didn't think of that until just now.
What? Okay. Oh.
Well.
Yep. Okay. Wow.
We're all having this public realization together.
Wait
all
a minute.
feel real dumb there for a minute together.
Is that where it comes from?
Does
the
game pieces come from the dicing it into, or does the dice?
I would imagine the other way around.
To dice is to make it...
If you were going to describe to someone else in writing how to chop a thing, you'd be like dice.
Yeah.
Dice it.
Something that we all have
Oh my God,
experience with.
Wow.
It's pretty universal.
Wow.
Some of the oldest games
Okay.
ever. And then they make them look like calf ankle bones. That's what ancient dice were, usually. They're like some animals' ankle bones.
What is that? Anyway, I don't know. A dice can be like 2 or 3 centimeters or like an inch, down to like a 1/4 inch or about a 1/2 centimeter. A brunoise is tiny cubes. It literally specifically means a 1/8 inch cube. So you julienne it and then you cut it into cubes, and they have to be consistent if to do it right. Then there's mincing, which is even smaller. It's like under 2 millimeters, like 1/16 inch. So if something doesn't chew nicely, but you want it to be smooth, you might cook it quickly, like an onion, but sometimes you might want to make like an onion soup, so you want some onions to be chunkier or bigger, so you'll slice them differently. And we know all this from thousands of years of practice. So Pete Snaith of the Culinary Cooking School in Virginia told NPR in 2016, the cut affects texture, which some food experts believe affects flavor, or at least our perception of it. Brandon Walsh, the Dean of Culinary Arts at the Culinary Institute of America, also told NPR, different cuts add different palatability. We teach that right from the beginning. Something cut in squares is going to be more toothsome, with a jagged edge, and will give the impression of something rugged or tough. If you put a vegetable that is more rounded in your mouth, your mind is generally going to think about something that is more succulent, whereas your mind will think of something flavorful if it is smoother, which is neat to think about. And again, they're using like lots and lots of people trying food over thousands of years to like do that. So it's a mix of science and art. Of course, there's science to this as well. So I found papers in journals like Comprehensive Reviews in Science and Food Safety, Frontiers in Nutrition, Food Chemistry X, Journal of Food Quality and Preference, Journal of Appetite, the Trends in Food Science and Technology, Journal of Eating Behaviors, Journal of Food Science Technologies. There's so
Do people like eating? Is that...
I feel like people like
eating and talking about eating and find ways to make the things that we eat taste better.
I mean,
better
apparently
for us.
There's a big business there.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of money in this research.
Do people eat? Is that like a thing that they do?
Feel like they do.
Like, ideally multiple times a day?
Maybe. I do want to point out, just briefly, little sidebar, if you or someone you know has issues around eating and food, you can text the National Eating Disorders Association, NEDA. Text NEDA to 741-741.
Okay.
Sometimes eating can be stressful. I get it. If you have an eating disorder or think you might or know someone who does, there are people who can help. End sidebar. So in the Journal of Appetite, they studied pretzel size, like snack pretzels. Large pretzels to small ones. Which do you think people ate more of, the big ones or the little ones? And more quickly?
The little ones.
So the surface area hypothesis would say the smaller ones, and so did you, but actually smaller pretzels, people ate slower, took smaller bites, and ate less overall, but consumed more sodium.
I think, I think part of the issue here when we're talking about like the powdered chocolate or the tiny pretzels is these things are like, because in part of their huge surface area, just saliva sucks.
Yeah, dude.
Absolute mouth drying, like cluster bombs.
I love your brain.
Thanks, bud. I love your brain.
That's where I was going next.
Okay.
So, yes, smaller pretzels have more surface area, but they also have more salt, which might be a reason why people like smaller things like the mini M&Ms that Raina asked about, more candy coating, less chocolate/pretzel, whatever. So, the Trends in Food Science and Technology study from 2020 looked at bite sizes and chewing times, and they found that people who take smaller bites took longer chewing, actually just ate less in general. The increased elasticity and chewiness of a food also would decrease the eat rating and food intake. Things that are smaller, generally speaking, have less elasticity, less chew. They also looked at salivary increase and food bolus size. Your favorite word, bolus.
I hate that word so much.
Yeah, I'm going to say it like 5 more times, so be prepared. I found a paper in the Journal of Eating Behaviors that looked at visual cues of food, including the surface area taken up on a plate, not the surface area of the food itself, unfortunately. And they found a correlation between pleasing shapes and intake. They reiterated that smaller pieces make people more satiated, and they think they're cute, and they like them, so maybe that might make people enjoy them more, but really didn't focus on the pleasure of eating in that study at all. The Journal of Food Science Technology 2017 took into account food fracturing in the mouth, mastication rates, jaw movements, bolus formation, hydration, dilution, and oral processing, and the chemistry of enjoyment. And they included texture, but glossed over that, saying most people are similar in their interest in the interplay of mechanoreceptors and chemoreceptors, the tongue, the mouth, the teeth, which does remind you that this is a complex process. And then they looked at saliva versus food to make the bolus in the mouth and the trigger to swallow. And all of this just is a little yucky. Can you imagine being a scientist who has to measure this? And they're like, okay, when you get the trigger to swallow, spit out the thing in your mouth so we can weigh it and like measure it and determine how much saliva is in it. You have to eat this very specific amount of food so we know exactly how much saliva has. It's just
you gotta really love what you do. You gotta
really love it. So after reading all these studies, it would seem like, yes, people do prefer things that have more surface area, generally speaking. We can all anecdotally agree that the surface area hypothesis is a thing. However, what it really is probably a shortcut or a heuristic of several other things in food science. So what we're really talking about is the thousands of years of practice. Like we've practiced to see what people like. Very similar to like art and music and other things. We're not out there being like, do you like this black page? Okay, I've painted 1 pixel white. Do you like it now? Okay, I've painted 2 pixels white. Do you like it now? Nobody's doing that. Although maybe we should.
Now with modern art, I don't know. It may be.
Yeah, in modern art, honestly, maybe they would.
Makings of a good exhibit, actually. There.
I'm gonna start
add
doing
one dab of white paint to a black canvas at a time,
and then there'll be like, when is it white now? That would be fun. I'd look at that. So we chop food to a certain size because we know that those things are enjoyable. There are chefs who are trained specifically to cut things to a very specific size. And the reason that is because it cooks conveniently, quickly, and consistently. It has a good mouthfeel. It's not too small so that specific food item is like destroyed or unpleasing to eat. This all comes from practice and from knowing what people already like. So it's texture, it's cooking, it's mouthfeel, it's a mix of fat and sugar and salt and viscosity. All of that changes the perception of our surface area as well, right? Like we talked about, powder with the right viscous stuff feels nicer than powder with less viscous stuff. So we can't even just say it's purely surface area, because the surface area of those two things would be the same. They just have a slightly different viscosity. So if it were simple, and it was literally just like, make a thing with high surface area up to a point and don't make it anymore, we would already have the best snack in the world. Somebody would have figured out what that line is, and they would make, micro pirate's booty or whatever, and it would just be like the most delicious thing that anybody would want. And maybe they did in Bacon Bits. I don't know. There's
these like flattened pretzels from Trader Joe's that Katie gets, and they're so
those are good. Yeah, those are really. I was going to say, do you have your favorite? What's your best snack? Like, if you could have one snack. Actually, you know what? Because I don't really believe in that kind of like absolute top 3 snacks.
Top 3? Oh man, gotta have like a Hello Panda, like a little chocolate, like Asian candy. It's really good, like chocolate inside.
Yummy.
And then
love that.
Some salty and savory. I really love, I can be simple. I can just, like kettle cooked potato chips with sea salt. And then
Sure,
That's
yeah.
so good. And then
I love that you're like, I can be simple. Here's 3 different adjectives that get us more and more specific into this. It's not just potato chips.
I'm not saying
It's
like they've gotta be a flavor.
I'm sorry. These are baked. I want kettle
no,
cooked.
but yeah, it's like the best crunch. I feel like I love like the crunch, but people complicate things with like all the different flavors and stuff, and they're good. But like, it's got to be like forever, like just sea salt.
No,
just sea salt.
I agree.
You're gonna get sick of sour cream and onion at some point. Not that it's not good.
Oh, definitely.
But you're gonna want to switch off. And then third favorite snack is you. You're a little. Yeah, you didn't see that coming, did you?
I did not see that coming. Or maybe I did. Open the door, Julian. I'm outside. I don't know what my top 3 snacks are. I did not
Yeah, you put me on the spot so you could stall. I saw that.
Did.
I saw that in your face.
I sure
and I knew
did.
you weren't ready.
Probably something crunchy, something gummy, and something...
Oh, gummy. Yeah, gummy's a good round out.
Yeah, like I like a good gummy, like a gummy worm or like a gummy candy of some kind. I would eat
those
something like that.
Haribo like sour snake things.
Yeah, those are excellent. I would, or like a sour gummy bear, because it's like just the right size and it's like got a nice chew. That would be good. And yes, like a classic crunchy, a Cape Cod chip. Honestly, just give me a Cape Cod chips forever. I'll eat those forever. And then got like a candy, got a little salty. Maybe like popcorn.
Oh, solid.
I love
Great
popcorn.
for many occasions.
I mean, it's sort of similar to a potato chip, but different, Can have sweet popcorn, you have salty popcorn.
Oh, you get flavors, but I don't?
Look, I made the rules, bud. I'm a snack. I get pretty privileged for that.
You're twice baked potato.
I'm a twice baked potato.
I'm still super obsessed of that. They're just reusing those day one potatoes.
Well, Western Michigan University, babe. Go check out their
There's
cafeteria.
no way they aren't the
Twice-baked
same potatoes from the day before. I'm certain of it.
Well, with that, let me just wrap up and say, Ben, thanks for the question. Surface area theory seems to be a shortcut to the reason food is tasty. It's because we've spent a long time making it such. And it does seem to correlate with increased surface area to a point. Neat. Thanks for sending it in. That was cool. Never thought about it before. And now I might be weird about the term dice for the rest of my life. Till I figure this out.
This is going to be the dumbest fun fact when somebody's like dicing and you're like, did you know that dice comes
You're at
from
a party.
dice?
You're just like, hey guys, did you know, see how you're cutting that?
There's got to be a word
cutting it right
for
there?
like a very unsatisfying fun fact, right? Like, yeah, it's true. And maybe you didn't think of it, but also now that you know it, it's not that interesting. Like, that's what that is.
We can call it one Huguet.
Oh, I get a unit of
like
fun
nugget.
facts named after me.
Yeah, one nugget.
One nugget.
Oh, I think, isn't that what the Razzies are, basically? Like, you could have a Razzie fact.
Raz fact.
Like a Raz.
It's just information, right? It's just neutral. It's like, hey, here's information.
Yeah, I think you've just invented banal information.
Fun fact for you. No, sorry, that's an overstatement. Information for you. Dicing is named that because it looks like dice when you're done.
Maybe. You didn't look it up.
I think.
With that, let's take a break and come back. And everybody look it up during the break and we'll find out. Welcome back from the break. I hope you enjoyed it.
Hope you had time to digest all that. Ha. Actually, this is fairly appropriate, and I hope you have eaten, because mine's going to be about, what happens on the other side of that. So,
wait, what do you mean? What's yours about? What's your
question?
My
question is, what's the most impractical way to treat constipation?
Oh, God. Oh,
From
no.
Anonymous Pooper.
Oh,
which
they were pooping when they sent this in, right?
Maybe.
100%.
Yeah,
they
it
were
would
pooping.
only be appropriate
or trying
if
to.
they were on the John and they were like, oh, this reminds me, and then they pulled it up.
Why does no one talk about the fact that most of Instagram happens when people are pooping?
I feel like
that's my
aren't
hypothesis.
Exploiting that fact enough, right?
That's my hypothesis, that most of the internet is posted upon while people are sitting upon the throne.
Definitely any phone, anything you interact with mostly on your phone.
Right. It's either being scrolled or posted from the bathroom.
Good chunk of it. I don't have any data
More than
on
you'd
that,
think.
but I think you...
No data.
I think...
More than you'd think,
yeah,
though.
I think, yeah, it'd surprise you. And we aren't... I'm tired of people not acknowledging it.
I'm tired of it.
I'm tired of us ignoring it.
I'm not going to sit down for that anymore.
Okay, so AP adds, I've been on too many flights recently for family stuff and accidentally discovered that the combination of airport hikes plus turbulence plus pressure changes will invariably result in mind-boggling poops post-landing.
Whoa. Wow. I love the anonymous, reveals here. This is amazing.
This got me thinking, is getting on an airplane solely to poop the silliest this could get? What's the weirdest thing you could do to clear out the pipes while still leaving the pipes intact? Is some sort of vacuum tube system possible? And if you resorted to the oddest way you could find, would that solve anything? Thanks.
Wow.
Love the show.
Wow.
So this is kind of open-ended.
Yeah. Whoa. This one really hits you in the brown eye, you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to pretend that's a saying in Michigan, and we're going to move on.
I heard it from a guy from Boston.
Oh,
But he did live
okay,
in
yeah,
Michigan
East
at the
Coast
time.
thing. So first, let's just talk about what it means to be backed up, right?
Sure.
Talk about that, and then what can relieve it. And basically, it's officially classified as if you don't go more than 2 times in a week.
Oh,
That's
then you're considered constipated.
That's constipated, yeah. And normal causes of it are very mundane things typically, right? It's like you're not drinking enough water, or you don't have enough fiber in your diet, right? It's like bind the poops together. Or maybe you're holding it for too long and it's drying out in there, And so when you do need to actually go, it's more difficult. Those sorts of things. And so, of course, the remedies for those sorts of things are also very mundane, right? Drink more water, eat more fiber, try and go at regular times, that sort of thing. None of these are in the spirit of AP's question, of course, because those are boring and sensible. So,
and if there is something that we are not on this show, we are neither boring nor sensible.
Or not sensible.
Oh, right, yeah. Sometimes maybe we're boring.
So I looked into, first of all, this claim, though, that being on an airplane, post hoc, makes you go more expediently.
Yeah, that was interesting to me, too. As somebody who flies a lot, I don't find that to be the case.
I don't think that's the case for most people. At least not on the plane. So a lot of people, this is an immediate Google search that popped up when I started typing it in, but it's like, a lot of people are apparently asking, hey, does everybody get more gassy on airplanes, or is that just me?
Oh, I did make a video about that.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to talk about it then?
No, I have no memory of what the video is about. I just remember I was flying a lot, and I was like, I seem to fart a lot on this airplane.
Yep.
So I asked Pam, the producer of D News, if we could make a video about it. She said, sure.
I miss Pam. Pam is
Me too. I
great.
talked to her the other day. She's best.
Oh, I haven't talked to her in years.
Yeah.
Say hi for me next
She's
time.
awesome. She has her own podcast called, I think it's called Take 5.
Oh.
It's great. It's about vinyl, because she's super into vinyl.
She's a DJ. She's so cool.
She's
Pam
cool.
Chop is her DJ name.
DJ Pam Chop. Go check her out. Tell her Trace and Julian, and she'll be like, those idiots!
Okay. So yeah, when you get on a plane, you might feel like you're farting a lot more. And that's totally common. Part of the issue is that you're at basically effectively a higher altitude. I mean, you're literally at a higher altitude, but inside the plane, they pressurize it to bring it lower, but there's still a limit to how much the plane can be pressurized. So typically on a commercial flight, it's like 8,000 feet above sea level, which is something in metric. I love when we do aviation because I don't have to do the conversions. We have to. It can be in feet, and that's the standard. So you have to deal with it.
You nerd.
Anyway, so yeah, part of the issue is you're just under less pressure, and so those gases in your body can expand more, and then they got to find a way out.
Because we're just giant worms.
We're big old sacks of liquid and gas, and putting us in different environments does weird things to it. right?
It is fun to think of us as that. Be like, well, you put the humans in a slightly different environment and all of a sudden all the gases come out of them.
Oh, interesting. I mean, yeah, that is a problem with like divers coming up too quickly from the depths, right?
True.
And like
yeah, that one's less funny.
the nitrogen in their blood expands and boils, and then they can die from the bends. Yeah, that's an issue. Obviously, on an airplane, that's not happening. It's not that extreme. But the concept is similar, right? You're just under less pressure. Along with flights making people gassier, they can also actually, from what I found, tend to make people more constipated. For one, you're less active.
That's what I had heard.
Yes.
Is more constipated.
Right. Like you're sitting there, that's part of it. You're less active. And so if you're not moving around, your body kind of calms down. Your intestines stop moving things through them at the normal pace. It all slows down, and you might feel a bit more bloated and constipated. Yet changes in cabin pressure and vibration and motion of the plane can inhibit gastric emptying, according to some sources I found. And this is also not taking into account that a lot of people have gastrointestinal issues that can be exacerbated with the anxiety that might come with, say, flying or travel.
Right.
And so in these cases, people, they might be under more stress. Their bodies might release more cortisol, which reduces blood flow and oxygen to the digestive system and also makes you feel more bound up. Up at altitude, the air that they're pumping into the cabin to pressurize it is from the outside. It's bleed air from the engines. And that air is very dry because it's very, very cold. Doesn't support a lot of moisture. So when it gets pumped into the cabin, you might notice you feel super dry and dehydrated.
It's very dry.
Yep. And these low humidity levels drying you out can also worsen constipation and other like IBS symptoms. A lot of factors come together while you're on the plane, actually, to make you less likely to be able to use the bathroom. And part of this information, I want to say, comes from a source I found called the Needham Gastroenterology Associates website. The title of the article is When Travel Stops You Up. And I just want to take a moment to think about the photo that they used at the top of this article.
Oh, God.
I've put it in the chat.
Okay, I'm clicking. Oh.
It's a man and a woman standing. They're like in an airport. You can tell their suitcases are just out of frame, and they're just like grabbing their stomachs and frowning.
Yeah, they're like, ooh.
And I just know that somebody, maybe it was like taken by somebody writing this article for the Needham Gastroenterology Associates, or maybe it was a stock photo. I don't know. But clearly they brought these people here and they were like, okay, now we need a photo for our article about travel constipation. So I just need you to grab your stomachs and frown. And I'm like, this isn't what people look like. Just like looking directly at the camera and frowning and grabbing their stomachs. It was very funny to me.
Wow. Yeah. No thanks.
Yeah.
It looks uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just like picturing the story behind this stock image, which I often think about when I look at stock images. Like the moments that led up to this image being taken.
What was the prompt that they were given?
Did they come to the airport just to take this photo? Or
they're clearly on a jet bridge.
Yeah.
It looks like in a European country based on their look, but also the fact that their jet bridges are much nicer than ours.
Okay. So that's all. I just want a little aside. I just thought it was a very silly stock photo moment. I think AP's experience might not be that like the airplane is solving constipation for him or her. Everybody poops. Mm-hmm. I think what may be happening is AP is feeling constipated during the flight and uncomfortable, and then landing when things are more normal and you're, past the stress of the flight and maybe the travel, and you've been shaken up a little bit by the vibrations and everything, and you're rehydrated and you're at normal pressure, assuming you're closer to sea level. And then he goes to the bathroom, and all of a sudden, the well springs forth, right, for AP. And it's much more comfortable. And AP's thinking like, wow, the airplane did. Like, no, you're probably more normal now. You were worse before. And so by comparison, you feel better, but you're more back to your baseline.
Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming. So,
that's what I'm assuming. I assume that, maybe they are unique in that all of that makes them want to go. It could also make them more aware of it, right? They're more aware of their bowels because they're put in an unnatural state being in an airplane for any length of time can be stressful and, make you really think about your body. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. So as treatments go for constipation, I don't think even as a grossly impractical one, booking an airline ticket makes much sense. So are there others that exist? I went into this like a beautiful, innocent child, forgetting that the wellness industry exists.
Oh, no.
And that they love demonizing the things that your body does so they can
are natural things.
Sell you a treatment that's ostensibly better for you. And one of those things is colonics.
Can we just say right out of the gate here, can I just for a second tell everyone that your body removes toxins from itself. That's it. If it didn't, you'd be dead. Mm-hmm. It's literally the reason you have a liver.
Yeah.
And kidneys and other systems in your body. The purpose of them. If they didn't remove toxins, you wouldn't exist. We wouldn't exist as a species.
Right.
That is their job. That is their purpose. They don't get stuck in there until you've drank the right thing that grabs them and pulls them out of their hidey holes.
Right. In this case, the hidey hole being your butt, apparently.
Your butt?
Your butt. So, colonics / enemas. Have you ever looked into this?
No, I've had an enema. Let me tell you, I've had the enemas. The nurse got me to have an enema once when I had a colonoscopy, and she was like, bet you can't hold it for 60 seconds. And I was like, I'm going to try. Did not.
Did you make it to double digits, or?
I made it to double digits, but not that far into the double digits. Like maybe into the 17 to 20 seconds or so.
Low double digits.
And then I was like, gotta go, bathroom time.
Right. Yeah, there are medical uses for things like enemas. The difference, by the way, apparently a colonic is where they spray like continuous high pressure liquid, and a colonic is like plug it in, squirt some in there, and it sits for a bit and then comes out altogether. That face you're making is correct.
Which one is like a bidet that you're too familiar with?
I think that's the colonic.
You're getting the
based on your
colonic.
description.
I'm too familiar with this bidet.
Right.
I have hit the button and now, woo!
Yep. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, Europe. Whoa. Okay. There are medical uses like you talked about for colonoscopy. If they need to see inside your intestines, it'd be nice if they didn't have to wade through, the stuff that you had in the first half of this episode to be able to get a good look at it, right? So they clean you out, and they use water to do it, and that's it. And, you only do it when you need a medical procedure done because bacteria in your gut is actually good. Controversial hot take, right? Like that bacteria.
That's a very controversial hot take outside of the world of science.
Yeah.
In the world of science, they're like,
yeah, keep that in there. Let the
it wouldn't be there if you didn't need it.
It's doing a useful job, right? And if you just clean it all out and destroy that microbiome, you are inhibiting your body from being able to digest more stuff, namely the waste products that these bacteria make as they eat the stuff that you cannot.
We are really cellular skeleton mechs for the amount of bacteria that live inside of our bodies.
Yes.
Because there's more of them than there are of us.
Right.
Just be friends.
It's a nice little partnership we have going on, right? We're partners in this podcast. I don't come to your house with a fire hose and spray you out of it every now and then.
I gotta clear the toxins out of this podcast.
Just kick in your door and...
Well, guess what? Open the door. I'm here. Man, I didn't think I could make that gag twice in an episode.
Anyway.
But I just did.
So, here's Johnny. So, a lot of these, wellness treatments, and of course, as I'm saying this, I'm not a doctor. You're not a doctor. If you're interested in these things, you should talk to qualified people, namely doctors who went to school for this sort of thing, like gastroenterologists. I'm just telling you what I'm reading on websites that doctors, write and edit the articles on and studies that I can find, but not an expert. Okay. Now, continuing with that. When I see these wellness trends, sometimes they use water for the colonics, but you know what's really popular with enemas?
I'm thinking of bad things like wine.
I mean, they're all bad.
Or coffee.
Coffee.
Or
Coffee's a wellness trend. And
This reminds me of butt chugging.
yeah, me too.
Butt chugging. I just remember Katie Wayne shouting butt chugging.
We talked about
multiple times in our office back in the day.
Yeah, back when that was the trend, supposedly, that all the kids were doing.
Teens,
but it was
they
just
were
another one of those
butt-chugging
dumb
everything.
news scares that like nobody's actually really doing it. It's not that widespread because, wait a minute, your teenager probably isn't that dumb. Like, come on.
Probably not. Nope.
Come on.
Probably not.
Anyway, yeah, but the coffee enema trend reminds me of what I talked about a few episodes ago, where like when I was a child, I just like put toothpaste in my hair because I was like, that'll be good. That'll solve something, right? What's the thinking here? Coffee makes you poop when you drink it, so if you put it,
honestly, dude, I think that's enough.
I think that's
you
it.
Just,
I think that's as far as the logic went.
That's about as far as it needs to go for most of the internet.
Well, there have been deaths associated with coffee enemas,
no.
so
maybe we should do better.
Skip that one. You know?
Yeah.
Probably. And again, AP, these are impractical, but they're real. People are doing these apparently. So, is that impractical enough for you? I think maybe we can go one step further. I was thinking, okay, the whole gastrointestinal system, basically a really long tube, right? And you got to move things along this tube. You got to squeeze them along, and your body does this naturally, right? There may be times when it doesn't do it naturally. I was looking up other methods to help people who might be constipated. I found articles talking about, well, sometimes people have a spinal injury and their brain doesn't get the signal that, you know, their colon's full and it's time for them to actually relieve themselves. And so there's a common technique then where you actually have to insert a digit, you know, lubricated and gloved,
right,
into the rectum and kind of expand those walls. And so your brain gets the signal as it feels that expansion and goes, oh, I need to poop now. And it does that.
Oh.
Right?
Seems easy enough.
Right. There are other gestic techniques. The digital stimulation one seems to work well from what I can find. But you might also try and massage, like along your colon, in like a little kind of L pattern. I actually found one technique saying you should use like ILU, like I love you. You start on like the left side of your body, under the rib cage and above your hip, and you just kind of massage downward.
Under the rib.
If you
down
spontaneously poop yourself while we're recording this podcast, that would be the most incredible.
If I gotta go, then I gotta go. You know, I already went today, so.
So you massage downward there, right? That's like the last kind of stage of your colon, or maybe towards the end, you kind of bring it back towards the middle area, down towards the bottom, under your belly button. You do that a few times, and then you start making an L, right? Starting under your rib cage on the right side, going across, and then down again, following the same path of the eye.
Got it.
And then finally, you make like a U, right? Starting bottom right above your hip, sweep up, and then follow that L pattern again, right? And so the idea is this is supposed to sort of move the used food along and kind of encourage it on its way to exit. Is this effective? I can't find any studies saying yes. Even the places I found recommending it are like, we don't know if this works or not, but it can't hurt, unlike, you know, a coffee enema.
Don't do that.
So, you could massage yourself. You could make some sort of elaborate Wallace and Gromit type machine to kind of squeeze you like this, like a tube of toothpaste.
You've got the wrong trousers, but trousers have in them some little digit that's lubricated and gloved.
Lubricated and gloved.
You put them on, and then all of a sudden they're the right trousers. And you know, you got trouser number ones, the wrong trousers, and trouser number twos.
That's my number two in trousers.
Number two trousers.
They're called number two.
Gromit!
Because they help me with number two. Did you know that dicing is named after the dice?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I knew that. Or maybe dice are named after dice.
I was trying to find...
We don't know.
Eventually, I started thinking about when I walk Pepper, and she has to relieve herself, and she spins and spins and spins. And I used to think it was like she was like a centrifuge, like trying to move it towards the posterior internally. And I was wondering if there's any research on that with like Apollo astronauts like having to poop more after a centrifuge test. I couldn't find anything on it.
Oh my gosh.
But I think in the spirit of AP's question, some sort of ridiculous contraption that spins you, massages you, and while we're at it, might as well like change the pressure inside of it like an airplane would be possibly
like
the most...
inside? of your butt,
Or like
inside of your trousers.
Oh yeah, why not?
Just inside your trousers, you just got sucky trousers.
Sucky trousers.
People are going to use those wrong.
Hey, stop abusing the suck trousers.
The sucky trousers.
That's not what those were made for. These are medical. Anyway, yeah, you AP, you could get increasingly more absurd depending on however complicated you wanted to make it. But the conventional wisdom typically is more fiber, more regular, more water. If you need to, you can use some medication, although they recommend not becoming reliant upon it, just to clear you up every now and again. And I guess, book a ticket to see family if that works for you, if that helps you for your own personal poop journey, AP.
Wow. I mean, at least we helped, right? At least we helped.
Yep. Also, again,
I thought,
not doctors, but please be skeptical of the wellness industry.
True. I thought you were going to go with the most famous expensive way to poop. The poop toilet in space.
Oh, I thought about it, but I don't think that relieves constipation.
No, true.
Right? That's
probably not. I guess if you would be constipated in space, you would still be constipated.
Yep.
Do you think that an astronaut who's been floating around for months comes back to Earth and is just like, because it's like all of a sudden their colon feels pressure for the first time in months.
Right.
Gotta be the greatest, what's the word? Evacuation ever.
They don't write about that in their memoirs, do they?
Maybe they should.
We need...
If there is an astronaut listening to this, please send us an email.
I know it's like...
Please.
How do you go to the bathroom in space is like the biggest question they get from fifth graders.
It's a great question.
I know this.
Yeah.
I've talked to astronauts and that's what they told me.
It's great. It's a poop vacuum.
Yeah.
It's a poop vacuum.
But that's more there to keep the ship clean than to clean you out.
Yes, it's not a vacuum that's just like, well, if you can't go, just turn it up to 12. It's fine. You'll be able. It will take care of itself.
You can select how much cheese was in your dinner last night.
They're very balanced diets up there, and apparently they like things like there's a teriyaki or a spicy shrimp or something that everybody likes. It would kill me.
They have to take the what snacks can you live off of forever survey, and then that's.
Oh yeah, This is not related at all to our episode, but I did talk to the woman who does food at Johnson Space Center, and she's like, they are constantly expanding their menu because they ask new astronauts, what food should we include? They always try and at least make one meal for the new astronauts or something like that.
That's fun.
Yeah. They'd never really taken bread to space. One of my favorite fun facts. And it's not information, it's a fun fact. They didn't really take bread to space because it's so crummy, as per the first section of this episode. And then the first Mexican-American astronaut or first Mexican astronaut showed up and was like, hey, can we get some tortillas? And they're like, yeah, because they don't make crumbs.
That's brilliant.
Now they have all these tortillas and pitas and all these things that you can just holy what? We never thought about flatbread.
Oh yep.
So now they have pizza nights and all sorts of stuff. And it's
this is innovation.
We just needed some tortillas, guys.
Can you imagine the havoc that cocoa powder would wreak?
I can imagine it would be bad.
It would be a disaster.
It would be a disaster. Well, thanks for listening to this episode of That's Absurd, Please Elaborate. Try not to think too hard while you're thinking hard and maybe listening to this podcast.
Yeah, don't strain too much.
On the toilet.
I recommend not doing that.
No, that's how Elvis went. We don't want to all follow Elvis. At least that's what my dad told me. I don't even know if it's true. This show was written and produced and made poopy by Julian Huguet.
And by Trace Dominguez.
It was also produced and edited by the wonderful, and you know what? If there was a being who pooped perfectly, it would be Kyle Sisk.
I thought it was going to be the surface area. The man with the ideal surface area.
He has the ideal surface area.
To make him the most delicious. But you went with that one. All right, that's fine.
You're right. Yours is better. Yours is better.
No, I thought you were going with that. Anyway.
You know what? Por qué no los dos? He has the perfect amount of surface area for flavor and poops 100% efficiently.
It's actually a natural consequence of perfect surface area.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yep. Every time we have like a bad Kyle joke, I feel so bad because Kyle hears them still, you know?
Yeah, yes.
Like the audience gets...
Yeah.
It's like, if we find a good one, it's just that. Kyle has to sit here. It's like double whammy. Like, hear us say dumb, made-up things about him, and they're bad. He's done it for 103 episodes now.
He's just sighing.
What a saint. What a saint Kyle is.
He is a saint.
Anyway. Associate producer is Sabrina Capello. Our show's music is from Epidemic Sound, and our intern is Charlie Woodbury.
Thank you to the listeners who submitted questions featured in this episode, Anonymous Pooper and Ben. If you'd like to submit a question, look for the form down in our show notes. You can email us at hello@that'sabsurdshow.com. You can visit our website, that'sabsurdshow.com/ask. You can call us on the phone at 302-TAPESHO. Don't do a coffee enema, yo. Just don't do it. We could not do this show without your questions. We really appreciate them. Seriously, we have so many questions in our database. We want to get to all of them, and we cannot do it without your help. So please send it to us so that we have more work to do, because, wow, we love doing the show, and we thank you for sending your questions. They're just so funny, and and then we get new ones, and we look at them.
And so revealing about you guys sometimes. Yeah. I have a feeling I might know who AP is, but...
Look, honestly, we might all know an AP.
Deep down inside, aren't we all AP?
Maybe we are.
Shout out to our patrons over on Patreon and our absurd administrators, Adam, Les, Austin, Jonathan, Dan, Sabrina, The Brain, Hannah, Pinky, and Apothecarian. If you want to join the Patreon, you can go over to patreon.com/that'sabsurdshow. We post polls regularly with a bunch of different questions that we couldn't decide between, and we leave it up to you to actually pick one for the episode. And also we post some other goodies there from time to time, like the bingo cards. Well, I'm gonna make a bingo card generator, and I'm gonna put it up there. That's what I'm gonna do, and they can play along. And I don't know if you get a prize or anything if you win, but things can just be fun for the sake of it, you know? I don't know what to tell you.
We can just have fun. Can't we just have fun,
Can't we just have fun with things?
Can't we just have fun? Isn't fun great? I love fun.
I like it. I think fun is fun. Did you know the word fun comes from fun?
It comes from when you would cut people and they said that isn't fun, and they're like, what do you mean?
And then they took the opposite. They're like, oh, maybe we can describe
the word fun.
The opposite of this feeling. That's some information for you.
Information.
It might be true.
Pure information. The Patreon is the primary way that this podcast is funded. So for everyone who has joined, thank you. We don't make any money except for from you. So thank you for that. Except from Nebula. We do make a little bit of money when you watch things or listen to things on Nebula. If you watch our show or you listen to our show over on Nebula, or if you join using our code, which if you go to go.nebula.tv/that'sabsurdshow, you'll be able to join and you get a discount. Nebula listeners get access to ad-free versions, sometimes a little early as well, of our episodes, because I put them up on the Nebula feed, like, you know, a few hours earlier than I do everywhere else, so you can get it first if you want, if that's valuable to you. Anyway, thanks to those listening on Nebula, because you're also supporting the show along with our patrons.
Well, Trace, what do we say at the end of every episode?
Twice baked potatoes. Boring nor sensible. This is the stuff I typed.
Well, you made notes and the notes are still
bad.
Incomprehensible to you?
They're bad. How about this one? What was the name of the website you were quoting? Needham and Associates?
Needham Gastroenterology Associates.
When travel stops you up, try Needham. When you need 'em to go, but you can't.
Coffee enemas? Don't need them.
Don't need 'em.
Don't need them.
Hi, do you need 'em to go? So do millions of people just like you. Try Needham Gastroenterology Associates for all your pooping
For just 70 cents a day, the cost of a cup of coffee enema, you too.
Pure information,
That's
pure information.
Here's information.
I love giving people information. It's
I'm gonna start saying that.
Thing. Here's some information for you.
Here's information. The average price of gas in LA right now is $4.87.
You should just be more vague. Gas in LA somewhere, $4.87.
Hey, did you know
Possible.
that there's a gas station in LA?
possible.
That sells gas for around $4.87.
Around. For around. Yeah, maybe it's $5.50. I don't know. That's around $4.87. It's close.
I don't know. It's information. Here's some information for you.
Here's some information. Information has 12 letters, I think.
I'm not even going to bother to count. I don't want to know.
You really want to, though.
I don't.
You really want to.
I'm fighting it with every bit of my body to start counting them out. Here's a little information. Info.
Info. Stop it.
It's a little information.
It sure is. That's great. That's the dad joke of the day.